Hello, I am doing a review on my Maytag, the Bravos XL. I love these things. I got these on sale at Lowe's for $6.99 a piece, and with the warranty, it was another $89. So it was right at I think it was like $1,800 with taxes and everything. But I got 3-year warranties on each one. And the main reason that I bought one of these was I had that Della washer, which it proved to be very useful, but it was very manual and I got tired of it. So the tub is 5.3 cubic feet, which I thought the LG front loaders were big, but this one's actually really big, and I love it because like I can fit one whole hamper of clothes in here, and it does it no problem. Like it probably comes like halfway into the tub, a full hamper of clothes. And me and my husband, we can do clothes like once a week. So let's see. A lot of people were saying that the controls were a little tricky, which they are a little bit to get used to, especially if you're used to actually touching, like actually physically pushing a button. These, when they say touch, you just touch them. Like, the power button, you just touch it, just barely touch it. And then for the touch to hold to start, which I'll show you in just a second, but you kind of like barely, almost like you're deleting an app on your phone. You just kind of touch it and then it'll start. Or kind of touch and hold for just maybe 10-15 seconds and it'll kick on. Same thing with the dryer, which right now I'm washing my whole king size bedding. I've got the quilt in here, well, the blanket, I mean, it's not really a quilt, and this is all the king size bedding. This is fitted sheets, top sheet, and 4 pillowcases, and the king size blanket, which it looks full right now, but once it starts washing, it'll look like I barely have anything in the tub. I do like the slide out tray, but the stuff I use for actually washing the clothes, I really don't use it except for the fabric softener. Some people, they use liquid, which I only have the flings, and then I use Arm & Hammer power packs. This is my fabric softener, because I buy in bulk. So that, I did have it filled up to about here, and it took 5 bottles to fill up. So I could probably easily put about 10 bottles in there. Then of course I have my in-wash scent booster. This is just the Downy in-wash scent booster. And that's the Arm & Hammer, of course. And then I have dryer sheets, about 2 boxes in there. And those jars I got all from Walmart. Those 3 there, and that one as well. Which I was reading the reviews on some of the glass jars, people saying they weren't very good. So you just kind of have to look at them and figure it out for yourself which one you think is going to be the better deal. I got that one for like $12. Which honestly could have been a little bit cheaper than that. But anyway, for me, whenever I start, this was a very kind of a learning curve for me, because I started laundry just like normal, and I would use pretty much 1 for 1. I would use a fling with a pack, and I threw like 3 flings in there, and then 3 Arm & Hammer packs, and it wasn't great because there was the oxy powder all over the clothes. It did not dissolve very well because this one doesn't use very much water. So all I do is I use 3 of the flings and 1 of the power packs. Toss that in there. And let me get these jars down. Trying to do this one-handed is not really fun. So I'm going to set them down on the counter for right now. And let's see. Alright, so my concoction, which my husband swears is crazy, but it gets his clothes clean. So he really can't complain. I use 1 scoop of that, And then 1 scoop of the In-Wash scent boosters. Boom. And this is gonna be the fun part. I'm gonna set you down for just a second. Don't mind my messy kitchen. I've been able to clean it up since I've been able to keep it partially clean since we moved, but it's been hard with working a lot lately. So I just slide this out. Let it fills up. And as far as the drip, I really don't have to worry about drips that much. It's made one little mess since I got it, but it's like a drip. That's it. Okay. So that's 1 full cap. And you can see like there's barely any room for more. But it's like the perfect amount. All right, and the soft close lid, which I love. So I'm gonna cycle around, find see that's bedding. And because I use the power packs, just to make sure that it's extra, completely dissolved and I don't have any residue problems, what I do is I do a deep clean, definitely make sure there's enough water in there, and then I do an extra rinse. And push start. And see, I just kept pressure on it. I wasn't actually pushing it. I was just touching it, keeping pressure on it. And now this is what it does when every cycle. You'll hear it like clicking and kind of knocking around. It starts out sensing, and it'll sometimes spin. There was one day I didn't balance out the load like you're supposed to, and it kind of went around for a few times. I think it took like 5 minutes before I actually started, but that was my fault because I didn't actually balance the load in there. So lesson learned. Now anytime I put clothes in there, I try to put them in, like I pretend there's an agitator in there, and then I line the clothes around the tub and I just stack it up. So you just want to pretend there's an agitator in there, and then it works every time, no problem. See, it's still sensing the load. And out comes the water. Now me, I wash everything in hot water. The way I grew up, or the way I was raised, hot water kills a lot of your germs. It helps get a lot of smells out. Some people say, well, your clothes will shrink. I haven't had that much problem with my clothes shrinking. There's just been a few shirts that I've had that maybe have shrunk over the past 5 to 6 years, which is a good time frame. I don't go through clothes like crazy. And the dryer, I love this dryer. It is like massive. Oh my God, is it massive? And the lint trap, let me show you the lint trap. It comes apart. There's like a little clip right here, and you just press it. And I empty it out every time I use the dryer, and it catches a good bit of lint. The only thing that I've noticed, I don't know if there's a backflow issue, but there's a lot of lint built up in here. And mind you, I've only had this dryer for like a month, maybe. So I do want to get one of those lint trap cleaners. This is one of those long bristle-like things. This is like long wire, and you can run it in there. It grabs all that lint. And see, the dryer's touch sensitive as well. And also, one thing I have noticed on the time dry, it saves your last preset time. Like say, I usually always do an hour. As far as the sensor dry, I'd never really have like sensor dry on any dryer that I've ever had, mainly because to me, I don't think it's going to get all the clothes dry. I think it's going to sense like kind of your outside of the load. So I always do a time dry. But I've noticed that anytime I adjust this for a different time, or if I go lower, it'll save that time for next time when I start the dryer up. Because I found that out by accident one day. I was like, what's going on? And it's just because it saves your last preset time. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. If you change the time, you're going to have to change it again for next time, because it'll automatically, it'll what do you call it? It'll calibrate to the next time for the previous time that you used it. All right, and the lid is a little hard to see through. I mean, I do kind of like to see like what's going on. Are all the clothes getting washed? But I found if you get like a really bright flashlight and you set it flat on the lid, you can actually see in there. So, but this is the Bravos XL, the Maytag commercial. And, well, thank you for watching my video.